Hello guys, I'm John, I'm the Geeky Fanboy, and welcome to Doctor Who, Series 12. It's the first episode, which is sort of also a New Year special, but not really, since like the first episode of a two-part, actually, Spyfall Part 1. And as always, I'm gonna talk the first couple of minutes spoiler-free in case you haven't seen the episode yet, and then I'm gonna jump into details for the episode, so let's go! I think this is a pretty solid beginning for Jodie Whittaker's second series as the Doctor. I liked it. I liked the whole James Bond espionage theme of the episode. That was quite cool, especially when they like really get to like dress up in the tuxedos and everything. I mean, you've probably seen that in the trailer. It was quite cool. We have some really good acting performances as always, especially from our main fam, from our four people. I loved seeing them again, and I like Jodie as the Doctor. I think she's still doing a pretty solid job. I think which was a bit of a problem that she didn't get to do as much in this first episode as I thought she would get. So I hope she gets to do a bit more. But since we have a lot of characters in this episode, so there's a lot of different like little storylines happening, which for me was interesting enough. But at times I was like, okay, I want to be a bit more with the Doctor right now, though. So yeah, we get to see all of our main people. I like that they kind of get paired together as we go through those different storylines, and I also enjoyed the guest performances we get, especially Stephen Fry, because I'm a huge fan of his. It was wonderful seeing him like in the acting seat again, and he does a wonderful job. Also, we have this big corporation guy who has a corporation that's basically like Google, Apple, and Amazon combined, that sort of thing. I like him. There's a bit of a mystery to him, which I think is quite interesting. So it's gonna be quite cool to find out what his whole deal actually is in the second part. Like I really want to know. And we also have another character who is an old friend of the Doctor's, and he's like also sort of this spy person, and I thought he was cool. Like his name is O, which has such a which is so ridiculous, but also quite funny, and I have a lot of fun with it in the episode, and I liked him too. So yeah, I think this is a solid beginning into the 12th series. It wasn't like fantastic or brilliant, but I liked it pretty well. And there's a lot of setup, and there's like a lot of questions are being asked. We don't get that many answers, but what the episode does towards the end, without spoilers at this point, there's quite a big surprise at the end of this, and I absolutely loved it. Like, if this is actually what they're doing, I think I'm into it. So yeah, there's a huge setup for the second part, and with this first one, I think like the storytelling is okay, and like I said, they're asking a lot of questions, and they're not giving us too many answers, which sometimes leads towards the middle of the episode being like a bit not quite boring, but at times I was like, okay, but what's actually going on right now? I'm a bit all over the place. Sorry, I just like watched it. I watched it like 2 days ago when it came out, and I only now got time to film this, so excuse my rambling. Yeah. Anyway, I think it's a good episode. It has a lot of good setup, and I'm usually a fan of the two-parters in Doctor Who, and like I said, with this big surprise at the end there, they're doing quite a big thing. Okay, so that's it for the spoiler-free part. I'm going to jump into details for the episode now, so if you haven't seen the episode yet, turn the video off now. Okay, well, we'll talk about the big surprise in a minute, friends. Let's talk about some other details. I thought. I already mentioned I liked all the guest actors we had, especially Stephen Fry. I like Stephen Fry, but I was a bit upset that he got killed off so early. Like he's the head of MI6, and I thought, oh, that's so cool. And then of course, Stephen Fry is the head of MI6. I wouldn't be surprised if Stephen Fry was the head of MI6 in real life, to be honest. But then he gets killed off after like not even 10 minutes into the episode, and I thought, oh come on. That seems to be a thing with Jodie Whittaker's episodes, that every time I like guest character or secondary character, I really like them, they get killed off after 10 minutes. I hate that, but well, happens. So I already mentioned that I thought the storytelling was in general okay, but that like towards the middle it could sometimes be like a bit, yeah, like not quite boring, but since we have so many characters and different like little storylines, I sometimes just was like, okay, yeah, that's all good and fine, but where's the Doctor? Like, I wanted to have the Doctor do a bit more, which is not to say that I don't like seeing Yaz and Ryan together. Yaz and Ryan together are like a cool combination, and I like the fact that you also have like a boy and a girl, and you don't have them be like romantically interested in each other, which still happens a lot. So like that, this is not happening here. And I like that we get to see like some stuff that happens with them in there and their like personal lives. And Ryan playing basketball in the beginning I thought was kind of cool, where we see like his coordination problem still being a bit of a problem for him, but he's getting better, and see Yaz's family and how she's like trying to pack stuff together, but then of course everything like goes awry. And I like the whole bit in the office where they're trying to find out the information, and when they're trying to like pretend to be incognito and all that. I thought it was quite funny, especially Ryan when he was like, well, the cover name is Logan. I don't look anything like Hugh Jackman. I thought it was funny. So they are a good combination. I think they do that sort of stuff together. And I also like Doctor and Graham together. Like Graham is my favorite of the like three companions. I like him a lot, and he always gets all the coolest lines and the sassiest lines. Like when they get picked up, and he like pokes his head out the window of the car, and he's like, "Worst Uber ever." It's a cheesy line, but it's also funny. So yeah, I love that. And I like that he gets paired with the Doctor and O. So yeah, their whole bit was I thought the most interesting part of the episode. Obviously, since we're with the Doctor always does the most interesting stuff. What I thought was quite interesting, what I noticed with Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, especially in this episode, is that she's a lot more willing to like accept that she isn't always the one in command. Like you could see that when they were in Australia and everything, the people were like, let's just do our job, or let's just move back now, there's nothing we can do right now. And usually you have the Doctor like trying to fight against that, trying to prove that no, they can do it and all that. And with Jodie's Doctor, you don't really have that too much. Like she's a lot more willing to be like, okay, those people have to do that now, or okay, this is a situation where I can't do anything right now. I'm pointing this out because I'm not too sure yet if I like it. Like I've seen this kind of facade in Jodie's Doctor in the previous series, but like I especially noticed it in this episode, where I'm like, okay, which probably goes together with this sort of criticism I mentioned earlier, that I wanted her to do more in this episode. Yeah, I just wanted her to be a bit more active, and I wanted her to have a bit more screen time, which is also like due to the fact that we like split the group and all that. But they kind of remedy that towards the end of the episode when they're all together to go to that big party, which I absolutely love. Like you have them all like dressing up in bow ties and everything, and then like very James Bond-esque music starts playing. That was so cool, and they like going to the casino, and I loved the Doctor like playing cards. I thought that was very Doctorish. I thought when she did that, and she's like, "Ah, oh, bam, I won." Is that not how you do it? I thought that was quite funny. That was good. And before we get to like the big twist of the episode, I already mentioned like the episode asks a lot of questions, but doesn't really give us a lot of answers, to be honest, which I think was a bit of a problem at times, since you got to tease the audience a bit, and not just with questions. So we're basically like, okay, that one guy is only 93% human. What the hell is all that about? And what's his whole deal with the aliens? What are the aliens? Why do they look like this? Why do they want world minion or whatever? Why are they working together with O? And what's O's whole deal? Like, there's so many questions. What is that weird forest thing the people get sent to when they get touched by the aliens or whatever that was? So yeah, lots of questions, no answers, not really. The only answer, sort of, we get is towards the end when they're all on the plane, and we find out who Agent O really is. Okay, so I freaking love that. That reveal was freaking brilliant. That actor, the moment he like does the switch and is and utters like the master, I was like, oh my god, that just happened. Yes, yes, please. That was so good. Also, did not expect that at all. Like, when do we ever get like a big huge enemy like the like the Daleks or the Cybermen or like the Master in the first ever episode of a series? In the series opener, we get the Master's return. Like, what the hell? But I love it. At first, I wasn't too sure if they're being really serious about it because, you know, he mentions. But now that I think about it, it makes sense. Like, he mentions to Graham that he has like a lot of information on the Doctor and is quite familiar with them to a certain degree. And so at first I thought, oh, maybe he's just joking and like tries to play the Master because he knows the Doctor and all that. But since some time has passed now since the episode came out, and there have been some background information, and also the actor talked about the history of the Master on like the Doctor Who's YouTube channel and everything. So yeah, he seems to be the Master, like proper and everything, and I love him. He has such a cool vibe. It seems like very John Sim like to a certain degree. So I'm wondering if this Master now might be the one that comes after John Sim. I know that up to this point we always thought that Missy comes after John Sim's Doctor, Master, sorry. But we don't really know that, and I think it's been a while since I've seen that episode, and I also think that Missy's whole regeneration got like screwed up already or something like that. So I could imagine that this Master now is the one that comes after John Sim, since you know we don't really know like how many different Masters there are when they turn up, and like as in character, he still sort of has this John Sim vibe to a certain degree, I thought, which is okay. I thought, like, I liked it. I like John Sim's Master anyway, but I like this actor now who, like, his whole vibe, I can't even really describe it. Like, it's this crazy manic, but also slightly smooth, cocky sort of character he tries to play there. I like it a lot, and like we only got 1 or 2 minutes with him, but the ending of the episode alone, I was like, yes, that's freaking fantastic. I want to see more of this guy. And with this whole ending, this reveal, and then him disappearing and the plane crashing, and basically I was like, oh, brilliant! Now everyone's gonna die at the end. Wonderful. So yeah, I'm looking forward to part 2. There's so much setup here. I thought this is like not the best or most brilliant like first episode of a new series, but it's a solid start and it sets up a lot of interesting things. And also with that big reveal, I'm so looking forward to seeing what they're doing with that reveal and with this new Master, what he will do. So yes, I can't wait to see part 2. So those are my thoughts on the first episode of Series 12. What are your thoughts? Do tell me down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you, and especially what you think of the new Master. So I hope you enjoyed this little review. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done it already, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.